If it hasn't already occurred to you, I'm going to make a confession. When I'm asked to make a choice, my default is all of the above. I like having it all. And sometimes when I try to have it all, I create chaos for myself. But what I'm really saying is that I set really high aspirations for what I want to achieve. Because if not, it's for sure I'll not make it. If I don't, go for it. I mean, the surest way to never make a basket is to never shoot in a basketball game. It's the surest way not to miss, but it's the surest way to never succeed. I'm all in favor of going for it all, and what I mean is that I don't think it's necessarily the case that you have to sacrifice financial well-being if you have a heart that wants to help people. I don't see that you have to abide by contradictions in saying, I've got to have so much money that I can't go watch my child give that little violin concert that she's giving this weekend. You've got to find a way to find your balance. But I've been amazed by a few people that I've met who manage to actually have it all and do it all. And what's amazing about them is they do everything the minute it arises. Like, let's imagine you're going to do 400 discrete things in a week. You could be doing them 3 weeks after they come up, and you'd always be 3 weeks behind. And you'd always still do 400 things. But you wouldn't be doing them in the moment when they most urgently come to your attention, and you would always be behind, always oppressed by the burden of the unfinished things. A good way to ruin your life is to say, I don't want to do all that. And you pay a price. However, another way to do it is to learn more and more how to dispatch things with immediacy. Not to allow yourself to be interrupted by someone else during an hour you've set aside for focused work. No. You don't let everybody else's urgencies dictate your behavior. But in a day, there's so much email, there's so much this, there's so much mail, there's so much whatever. You have to decide how to dispatch that. And all I'm saying is, if you go for it all, and also go for it all today, so that you start a day and you finish a day well, it's amazing what you can achieve. And I gotta say, I'm not there all the time, by any means. But it's the direction I'm going and the direction I'm aiming for. If I don't aim for it, it's a dead lock that I'll never make it. And though that's the hardest work I can do, is to finish everything the same day, because I take on too many things and they start to spill over and blah, blah. All I can tell you is go for everything, because if you're going for it and you're saying, I'm going to dispatch it today, you're going to come closer and closer and closer, because you're giving your mind that task instead of some other task that wouldn't be nearly as interesting or make you feel as effective. Now, I'll tell you that when you go that high, you get this Icarus thing. You know the Icarus myth that a guy took made waxed candle wax and made wings with little feathers that he put in the wax. And he thought he could fly to the sun. And he flew very, very high. When he got close enough to the sun, the wax melted and he crashed down to Earth. We have that myth that if we fly too high, we'll crash. Well, if we don't go too high and we keep ourselves from going high, we'll stay earthbound the whole time and never even get the elation and the exhilaration of approximating our goal. So I say go for it all and find a way you can believably have systems in place that you can do it all. It's going to take thinking, but it's thinking that's worthwhile. It's like designing your own habits instead of just letting them accumulate. It's worthy of reflection and action, because there's a lot that can be riding on it for you. A lot more success you can experience by taking charge and being in the driver's seat, in the director's chair, in that particular way. Go ahead and have it all. Since you're a high achiever, you may know about this. High achievers often hit a wall. They're going along, they're having one success after another, and then suddenly something happens and they grind to a halt. And it's confusing because they're not sure what it is they've done wrong, if it's anything. They just know that they're not moving anymore the way they're used to moving, the way they have moved in the past. If you've run into like what seems like a ceiling over you, and you're kind of in a fog and you're mystified as to what's getting in your way, you can even kind of slide into a swirl of doubts and wonder if you've ever really achieved anything significant at all, and whether any of your amazing achievements that you've done were anything but kind of fronting or a little bit of a fraud. That is really negative and pernicious, and it doesn't have to be that way. I want you to go get a free report from me. Go to drkenchristian.com/breakthrough and receive from me this free report with action steps that are going to tell you exactly what to do now to get you going.